Today, I have a huge opportunity to beta test club data with the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, something that a lot of us have been waiting for a very long time to see. Rapsodo's delivering. They gave us an official GS Pro connector. They're now giving us some club data. We have club path and angle of attack to test out, as well as a new app today. So I did the firmware update, so we're completely up to date. Downloaded the beta version of the app, which is going to be different than a lot of you see. If you're subscribed to me, I did give everyone a heads up about this new update and how you can beta test. They only accepted 150 people, so the submissions closed very quickly. Luckily, I was able to get in, and so today we're just going to hit a few shots. I've been injured. I haven't been swinging a club for a couple weeks now, but I'm feeling okay enough to be able to hit maybe some 7-irons and some wedges. And so let's get into it. We'll look at some optimal numbers and we'll see how accurate it is. And I want to preface this by saying every single launch monitor has a little bit of trouble with club data. It's very difficult for launch monitors to accurately track club data. Some launch monitors, like the Pro TVX, they use AI to track the club and get a little bit more accurate club data, but even the higher end launch monitors have trouble with club data. So take these results with a grain of salt, but always trust the ball data coming out of the MLM2 Pro. This is such a great tool for game improvement. You can check it out. My link's in the description if you want to support me, if you've been thinking about getting one of these now that this finally has club data. Now, this isn't a full release yet. They are beta testing it, but Rapsodo has been waiting to get this to a point where they actually feel comfortable releasing it to the public because they're always under scrutiny. And for a $700 unit, you really can't beat what they already provide. And this just takes it yet another step forward. So we've got the app up here. I've already updated it. We're just going to do some practice mode today. And a couple of the changes that I already noticed in the app are likely coming to the new app version. So let's take a look. Also, it really feels good to be making videos for you guys again. I've been just extremely busy and kind of focusing on work with new baby coming soon. So it feels nice to be doing this. We'll start a new session because I did go into this earlier. We're hitting into a net with the Chrome Soft X, and we'll just do sea level. That's totally fine. Now, we'll start out here with a sand wedge, just to give me a minute to warm up. We have a couple of changes here. Look at this with the setup. So it tells you to place the balls approximately 7.5 feet from the ball and the center line with your desired target. So we are going to do that. Typically, I use a stand, and I noticed that I set this up without the stand, and I'm kind of seeing this already in the spot that we want it. But nonetheless, I'm going to put it on my stand like I always do. Okay, that's in the general direction. It's probably about 7 feet away. Looks pretty good. And we're perfectly level. Let's see if I adjust my stand, if that changes at all. Now, it's not changing the level reading. Maybe it's only if it's really drastic. Okay, there it is. Now, I know in the past, Rapsodo has said since this is meant to be used at the range outdoors, having it perfectly level doesn't really matter. So I don't know if they're trying to just appeal to the audience who thinks that it matters or if it truly does matter, but now we have a level reading. I got my RPT ball. Okay, so we have a smaller hitting zone for club data, slightly smaller. I will adjust my stand, and you can really get any stand, it doesn't matter, but I'll put this one in the description just because I get asked about it all the time. Maybe I need to go further back. Interesting that they're kind of requiring a little bit further back now. Okay, we're in the box. Select the club icon to display the hitting area where the club, okay. I can add more lighting if I really want to see this here. But I think we're going to get club data out of this. We'll do carry. Now we have angle of attack and club path. I don't know if club face is coming, but we do have these. I'm also noticing at the top of the screen we have a kind of signal connection, which I hadn't seen in the past. Can't click on that. Everything else seems pretty much the same. We will put our auto replay on impact vision so we can see our impact after every single shot automatically without having to select it. We'll just do a few wedge shots here. Now I will say on mats, It's a little bit harder for me to hit down, maybe as much as I should. So if you don't know, angle of attack is the vertical angle that the club is measured at relative to the ground right at the point of impact. These are kind of the optimal average numbers if you were a PGA Tour player, with the optimal sandwich numbers being anywhere from -6 to 8 degrees. Having consistent angle of attack is going to help you control your spin and effectively your ball flight and distance. Keep in mind here that I haven't been hitting balls for a couple weeks, so uh, -8.3 angle of attack, maybe with a wedge. Club path plus 5.7. So plus 5.7 would indicate a 5-degree in to out. So more for a draw, which I absolutely hit with my wedges. Angle of attack -8.3. So we'll see if that stays consistent. Definitely another in to out swing. That felt much better though. Okay. Now, like I said, I'd take club data with a grain of salt. Ball data is spot on when compared to TrackMan, when compared to GC3. Um, but so far, I'd have to agree and say that that's pretty in to out. I'll try to neutralize it a little bit, try to come a little bit more down the line. Maybe a couple degrees, I don't know. Still about the same. We'll see if we see that. I guess so. I am really coming in from the inside. I also have to try to think about where I'm aligning to. Now, it's hard for me to hit a fade with wedges, too. My typical is just a draw. If we can swing a little left. Okay, that was more left. Oh, I didn't read it. Okay, so plus 1 degree. I was confused for a moment. And -5.3 degrees angle of attack. So very consistent with the angle of attack. We'll have to see how that works on the driver. And I was able to neutralize my path a little bit more on that one. All right, let's get into some 7-irons because I don't want to swing too many. I'm still trying to heal up here. You'll have a smaller hitting area if you're trying to get that club data. Keep that in mind. Okay, now just onto a stock 7, which, again, I hit a draw, typically. And this could also be based on where I'm aligned as well, so definitely into out again. And draw is pretty typical. -4.4 angle of attack is pretty consistent with the pros. Pretty much spot on. And I suggest you know what the ideal numbers are when you're going into it so you can work towards optimal. Club path plus 3.5 degrees is perfect for a little draw. And that's what I play. So far, I gotta say it's pretty spot on. We'll look at that impact one more time. Pretty awesome. I'll hit a couple more of my standard shot and then I'll try to hit some fades. Maybe a little more neutral. Now, am I coming down steep on it? I don't know. It's possible. Definitely hit it out to the right. Although, of course, face could have been open too. Because the face is what indicates the starting line. 80% plus or minus about, 10%, depending on how drastic the change is. The club face will typically decide your starting line. So we can even look at the shot vision here. Yeah, and I probably did pull that a little bit more. So while I am still hitting a draw, The club path was still a little out to in. Okay, we'll try and hit some cuts. Just going to open up the body, open up the shoulders. It's hard for me to do though. I don't typically play a cut. And that's neutral. So what I'm leaning towards here is that maybe my unit is just not aligned as well as it should be. If I'm aligned a little bit to the left, then all of my numbers are going to show more into out than they should. And I'm kind of seeing that it probably is. But so far, no weird readings at all. Yeah, that was very, very neutral. And a perfect angle of attack for this club. Maybe they did it. Maybe they really did it. Okay, what kind of aim more to the left where the unit is actually aligned, because I don't want to change the alignment. Well, it was a bad strike. I hit it thin. Yeah, so trying to neutralize the club path out. Definitely my unit is aligned too far to the right. Excuse me, to the left. But the angle of attack is still consistent. I'll try to really go left. See what the club path says here. Trying to open up the face and play a cut too. All right, so we should see a few degrees the other way, I think. Exactly, minus 5.1 degrees on the path. And I gotta say, I think Rapsodo is nailing it. So for those of you that understand club data better, I don't think that club data is necessary because we have the spin axis, we have the starting line, we have the horizontal launch angle. You can kind of calculate in your head what your club path is, what your club face is. But for the people that like to see club data, I'm going to say Rapsodo is definitely going to roll this out. One more that we try to swing to the left here, because every single number has been spot on, I think. Similar, maybe a little bit more neutral. About the same. Angle of attack, about the same. Yeah, you could see me just coming a little over the line, a little into out there, just based on where it's aligned. And this is awesome. I'll do one more of my stock shot, back to the draw. That was fat, but that's more my typical. Back out to that draw, into out path. Angle of attack, pretty much the same again. Yeah, spot on, spot on. And I know Rapsodo uses AI, so maybe they're going to tell us a little bit more exactly about how this works, but I think they did it. You can review every session, like always. Consistent numbers with the 7-iron. I'm not swinging full by any means. So that's pretty awesome. But now we see that club data. Angle of attack and club path. And they got one more square. I'm thinking for club face. Maybe they haven't nailed that yet. So when do I think this update's going to come out? Typically during beta testing, they do it for a couple of weeks, and then typically it's like up to a month after, but who knows how major of an update this is. Maybe they'll roll it out sooner. But stay tuned for that club data. If you're looking for the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, this is a huge update, and I'm really excited for it. I'm going to go heal up that chest, and hopefully we'll be back with some more playing videos and some more just like this. Subscribe for more MLM2 Pro.